Time for Hot Picks. We are talking tech giants, names in the Mag 7 group. Our guest is Lilly Tzvetkova, co-head of US equities and senior portfolio manager at CWB Wealth. Lilly, thanks very much for joining us.
Hi, Andrew. Nice to be here.
Before we get into specific names, you say there still is a case that these big tech companies are trading at a discount?
Well, you know what? As you know, it changes every day, but yes. I do still think they're below their peak valuation, and I think we can make a case that AI will make their future growth prospects better than they were. So I still like them here. Although I like them better on Friday.
Yes, they've rallied today with this outlying trade deal or trade pause between US and China. Amazon, that stock rallying sharply today. What are the attractive features here?
So Amazon, it is obviously a well-known company. What we've always liked about it is their exposure to high growth areas. They're exposed to e-commerce, they're exposed to cloud, and most recently to digital advertising. And so it is really fascinating that a large company such as Amazon can be as innovative as they are. And I think it's because of their focus from day one being on long-term growth rather than short-term profitability. They've proven years over years that they will always choose this long-term focus over short-term profitability. You look at their retail segment, they continue to grow big in e-commerce, and they're one of the very few retailers to actually grab market share in any environment you can think of. Mm-hmm. I think their membership products, their membership program, Prime, is a main culprit for that, because once you're in a Prime member, typically you spend significantly more and you're a lot more loyal. Also, if you look on their AWS side, their cloud business, same double-digit growth. Even this last quarter, where people were a little bit skeptical as to growth, they continue to grow at high teens. And they even said that capacity constraints is what kind of prevented them to grow even higher. So definitely, those are some of the things I really love about the name.
We're a little tight for time. Apple, they have been criticized for lagging in AI, but of course, never rule Apple out. They've got those hundreds of millions of customers, for one thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're usually, I feel with Apple, they're typically slow to start, but because they do have this valuable customer base of people, of customers that are like really raving about any product or any service that Apple's gonna offer, I think it's not something that concerns us. We prefer that they are actually faster to do it, but we're fine with them not doing it as fast as they have. Like, I mean, as you know, 1 in 5 people globally own an Apple device. Wow. Some own even more. And it is pretty valuable. And they're locked in that ecosystem that Apple has built, basically trusting in Apple hands to choose for them what is it that they're going to use. So once Apple has decided on what products that are AI enabled, I have no doubt that people will, first of all, update their hardware, their phones, but also probably subscribe to more services, which has been the major driver for Apple stock lately.
And finally, Google. I mean, the AI is seen as something of a threat to them. I know they are a huge investor in artificial intelligence, but search may change and could potentially challenge their dominant position.
Yeah, and this is why the stock is currently trading where it is. At the end of the trading day on Friday, I think it was 15 times next year earnings, which is something I don't think I've ever seen Google to trade in. And it is interesting because Google is used to be seen as one of the AI investor in the past, but ever since ChatGPT came out, people, as you said, started questioning what's going to happen with search, and it's a very profitable business for them, and they're the dominant player. I think, at the valuation we are right now, we do acknowledge there's some risk to search, but we also think that the products that Google has put out ever since that ChatGPT news came out are competitive, are really good, and people like them. So I think, especially if you believe that there's going to be just more queries down there, Google will be all right. And as I said, in that valuation, not very worried.
And of course, they do have all those businesses such as YouTube, which have changed people's lives. I mean, you can get obscure videos on just about anything.
That's correct. I'm a big YouTube fan, and I think same for like a lot of people. A lot of times people forget about their cloud business, which is growing and competing alongside AWS and Microsoft, and not to mention their other bets such as Waymo or Verily, like all businesses that down the road, in my opinion, if one of them really goes high, it's going to add to the Google valuation. But right now, it's been a dog for some time, and we really like the valuation. We trust management's going to do well down the road. We've
less than a minute left. Lilly, what's a gem on YouTube that you enjoy watching, or what have you found that you really like?
Well, in YouTube, to be honest, I watch all sorts of stuff. I do like to watch TED Talks a lot, which I watch them on YouTube, although you can watch them everywhere, but basically everything.
Sure.
I can't really pinpoint to anything, but it's just awesome that you can watch almost anything. And you can now subscribe to YouTube without advertisement. I'm very close to do it because lately they've been putting out more ads to monetize that product, because it's a product that it's very loved by consumer.
Sorry, we have to leave it there. You're right. The educational resources on YouTube are incredible. Lilly Tzvetkova of CWB Wealth, thanks very much for watching our show. Morning Markets is up next.